I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I am a little bit famous. You guys might recognize me from the Netflix baking competition Nailed It Holiday. Thank you. I'm so famous. Cosmopolitan Magazine named my cake one of the top 6 worst cakes ever made on the show. I have fans. They're mostly 9-year-old girls. And a couple of creepy guys on Twitter that are into cake stuff. One of these girls came up to me in the playground and she said, "Do you like baking?" And I said, "Mm-hmm." "Did you see Nailed It?" And she said, "Mm-hmm." And I said, "How did I do?" And she went, and I said, "Would you like a picture?" And she goes, "You didn't win." I was like, "You came up to me, little girl, where's your mother?" And I tatted on that kid. I'm not actually a very aggressive person. I'm not much of a fighter. I mean, look at me, I'm Midwest hot, Wisconsin 10, I know my place in the world. I'm not even strong enough to push my thumb through the aluminum foil on the NyQuil. So I gotta talk tough, I gotta be a tough talker. Right? It helps that I'm Italian. Any other paisans here? Ha! We don't normally like to identify ourselves in crowds. Just ask JFK. Oh, my people killed Jesus too. See, a lot of people think the Jews killed Jesus, but that's not true. The Romans killed Jesus, and I want credit. I'm Italian. My baby sister Tony and I are very light hair, light skin like my mother. And my sister Nikki is very jet black hair, very caramel skin like my father. So we were in the Kmart, and I was like chonking down on a huge dill pickle because it was the 80s, and that's what you did in Kmart. And this woman came over to my sister, and she kneeled down, and she said, "Is this your mother?" And my mother goes, "Excuse me." And the woman said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, you don't look Mexican." This is the moment the light bulb goes off. I'm going to convince my sister that she was adopted. So we have this like display birth certificate that you get at like the grocery store. It has little baby ink feet on it and a picture, and you write down how long it is, how much it weighs, you put it in a frame and throw it on the wall. So I said, "Nikki, I can prove you're not Mexican." And I brought her over the picture, and I ran my finger across the tiny sentence at the bottom of the frame, and it said, "Made in Taiwan." I said, "You were made in Taiwan, that's a legal document." And she started freaking out. She was like, "My real family's gonna come for me, my real family's gonna come for me." My mother was so shaking mad with me. She said, "Your father's gonna deal with you." So behind that closed door, my dad said, "Don't tell your mother that I didn't hit you. And don't tell your mother that I'm drunk." I'm kidding you guys, he hit me, he was drunk, it was the 80s. I'm happy to report, after 25 years of smoking cigarettes, I quit. I vape now. It's the same reaction my family had. I was at my niece's birthday party, and like I was being cool auntie. I was jumping in the bounce house, I was in the ball pit, and I dropped my vape. So I gathered the kids around. I said, "Auntie dropped her vape." And my nephew goes, "Well, we really don't know the long-term outcome." I said, "Not now, Miles." "Anyone who finds it will get $20. And Miles goes, "I'll do it for 50. I said, "I could buy a new one for 50. And he goes, "Well, how bad do you want it right now?" And then my niece goes, "Equal work for equal pay." And I said, "Not for girls." I've been with my husband for 25 years now. Thank you. I'm madly in love with my husband, 90% of the time. No one's 100% right. There's some men out there right now that'll say like, "My marriage is perfect," out loud to you. And those same men are doing some math in their head right now, trying to figure out what their percentage is. I look at 80% people, I'm like, how are they not divorced yet? I'm 90%, and I'm like, we have some stuff we need to work on. There is issues that we need to talk about right now. Divorce, that sounds like a lot of work. I don't have the energy to take the garbage out every day. I'm out here stuffing labels and bananas down, like that's a tomorrow problem. I was trying to get the kids out of the house, and my husband was taking forever. I was like, "What are you gonna do if I die? How are you gonna get these kids out of the house?" And he goes, that's second mommy's problem. I said, okay. How soon after I die does second mommy come into the picture? And he goes, 6 to 8 weeks, I'm not a monster. I said, okay, what happens in the 6 to 8 weeks? And he goes, well, how soon are you dying? Because if the kids are grown, it's not my problem. Which makes me want to kill myself so I can prove a point. I have 2 kids, 2 girls. My youngest is 13 now. When she was 8, she was dead set against swearing. She would hide swear words inside of other words. Like she said, Jessica's being a real obituary today. She's always been funny. We were standing, she was 5 years old, standing at the TSA counter with my husband. And the TSA woman said, what's your name? How old are you? Do you know who this is? She looked at my husband. She looked at the TSA agent and said, no idea. And I was standing in line over. I go, it's not joke time. That's not a joke fun time.
No idea.
She also said, I know you love me more than sis because I was planned. And it's true. She said, Mom, is there anything I can do that would make you not love me? And I said, no. And she goes, what if I kill Dad? And I said, I would still love you. And she goes, what if I kill Dad and sis? I said, where am I during this murder spree? And she goes like this, I only have 2 hands. I said, Dad couldn't overpower the 11-year-old with a knife, apparently. I said, I would still love you. And she goes, well, if you did that, I wouldn't love you. So I have an out. So my 13-year-old, when she was 12, she took out a Tinder account on her friend's phone because they thought it was funny. I said, let me see the profile. First of all, the profile picture was lesser-known actress Keira Knightley. I said, do you know who this is? And she goes, she's pretty. So my 12-year-old was catfishing people on Tinder as Keira Knightley under the alias Sheila. I said, why Sheila? And she said, it sounded more adult. This is what the profile said. This girly pop slay. No simps, no sad boys, bet. I said, I don't think that's how adults talk. I don't know. I've never been on a dating app. My husband and I started dating. He left me messages on my answering machine. You know how hard it is to get naughty pictures off an answering machine? My oldest daughter is gay. Well, she's poly, bi, gender fluid. Her pronouns are she, they. And I was like, can mommy just call you gay? Is that okay? I'm trying to be more progressive. I'm trying to learn from my gay daughter. She said, Mom, sometimes I like girls. And sometimes I like boys. And sometimes I like girls that are boys. And sometimes I like boys that are girls. And sometimes I like people that aren't boys or girls. And I said, stop. I am trying to be supportive. But you sound like a skank. Now explain it to mommy again slowly. And at each point tell me how many people are involved. She's 20 now, and we were out shopping. And she took a picture of a closed down bye-bye baby. And she went, Roe v. Wade. I said, what are you talking about? She goes, isn't that an abortion clinic? I said, the bye-bye baby? The bye-bye baby is not a place where you can buy a baby, nor is it a place where you say bye-bye to a baby. It's a place where you buy things for a baby. And she goes, well, that's a confusing name. I said, is it? That means you buy into the idea that there is a warehouse-sized abortion clinic next to the Bed Bath & Beyond. And if you couldn't tell from that absolutely 100% real conversation that I had with my daughter, she has high-functioning autism. Now, we didn't find out she had autism until she was about 17. And when she got her diagnosis, oh, it just hit me right in the chest. I just thought, that makes so much sense. I just thought she was a jag-off. And it does make so much sense, and we do communicate so much better now. But here's what came out of it. Now, every time I meet a jag-off, I'm like, oh, he's autistic. And it makes it so much easier to deal with him. I'm telling you right now, the next time you meet a jag-off, if you say to yourself, like, oh, I just need to be patient with him, save your whole day. Do you ever play this game with your family, like guess who in the family could possibly be a serial killer? Because serial killers' families never know, right? They're always like, I didn't see any signs, I had no idea. So I narrowed it down to 3 people in my family who I think could possibly be serial killers. Number 1, my sister's baby's daddy, who is a handyman, so he drives a windowless van. Number 2, my husband's cousin thought it'd be a fun game to teach the kids to blow black pepper into each other's eyes. Or number 3, my 11-year-old nephew who said, I will not be playing Monopoly because I will not participate in anything that glorifies capitalism. Is that kid right? Yeah. You guys, that's miles. My husband and I have been talking about what we do when we pass. And I want to be cremated. And I want to have my funeral at a bowling alley. And I want to be made into a bowling ball. And I want everyone to take a turn with me. Or I want to have my ashes spread all across the strip club stage, and I want the strippers to just roll on me and be like, she was a good lady, like over and over again. My mother-in-law passed away before the pandemic. It was fine, I didn't like her. And this is, I swear to God, hand to God, the actual eulogy my brother-in-law gave his mother. My mother loved music. Footloose, footloose, everybody cut footloose. My mother was footloose and fancy-free. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. My mother was an all-star. Party rockin' in the house tonight. Everyone's gonna, he did this with several song lyrics. I turned to my husband and said, how soon can we talk about this? He said, in the car. Did anyone here take an aptitude test in high school to kind of like suggest what kind of a job they should do? Did anyone do that? Yeah? Do you remember what they told you to do? Yeah, what was it? Postman. Delivery guy. And what do you do now?
Sell machine and fabricated plastic parts.
I'm not going to repeat that. So it's kind of the same, right? Just by looking at me, not performer, what do you think they suggested I should do for a job?
Retail sales.
No, I would be terrible at retail sales. People would come over and be like, can I help you? And I'd be like, I don't know, can I? No, they said florist. Oh. Right? Everyone's always like, what? I know. Would you trust me to put the floral arrangement together for your parents' funeral? You haven't seen my baking.
Give me a shot.
Give me a shot, nice. Oh man, I have this friend Todd, who I'm fairly close with, and I was FaceTiming with his 80-year-old father at 11 o'clock at night, like you do, and his dad pulls the phone kind of close and he goes, oh, you're cute. And I said, yeah, you like Italian girls? And he goes like this, Parmigiano. And I said, my dad died. You want to be my daddy? And Todd pulls the phone away and he goes, he has dementia and bad eyesight. I was like, well, sounds like somebody doesn't want a new mommy. I was at the grocery store the other day, and the checkout lady held up a carton of cherry-flavored Greek yogurt. And she goes, you tried this before? And I said, yeah, I tried it. She goes, you like it? Now, I just said I tried it. Why am I buying it again if I don't like it? Was my penance? I go home, I'm like, you eat the yogurt, eat the yogurt. I go, yeah, I like it. She goes, you got a husband to help you eat all this yogurt? This is a lot of yogurt. Now, why are we judging my yogurt consumption? This is 8 yogurts. This is not an alarming number of yogurts. Second, I decided I'm going to tell this woman too much information, try to shut down this line of questioning. I said, yeah, I'm married, 2 kids, I'm a comedian. She goes, a comedian? Say something funny. And I go, something funny? And she goes, oh, damn, you are a comedian. Oh, my God, that's funny. That is the best review I've ever gotten. She goes, how old are your kids? I said, 19 and 12. She goes, your 12-year-old get her period yet? Because if so, these pads are too big for her. Now, we all know what a Karen is, right? Well, a Sicilian Karen is a Claudia. Up to this point, we're being like at a Denise level. Here's how a Karen would reply. How dare you judge my parenting choices based on my maxi pad purchases? Here's how Claudia would reply. I am not too pregnant to kick your ass. I'm not too pregnant to kick your ass is not a line that I wrote. It's an actual thing my cousin Sarah said to a school bully of mine when I was in the 6th grade. Yeah, it's true. Anyone here, by a show of hands, consider themselves like an aggressive driver? Like someone who kind of weaves in and out of traffic? Yeah? What's your name? Suli? We all hate you, Suli. Everyone who just laughed hates you so much. Are you with Suli? Are you guys with Suli? How do you feel about her aggressive driving? It's not a 5-star review, Suli. Not a 5-star review. Here's the thing, Suli. You're a very confident driver. I'm a very nervous driver. Do you know how many people I'm gonna kill because of you, Suli? I just want to know, why do you do it? Why?
Why? Because you are too slow.
I agree.
Okay, I'll just be patient with you. It's fine. I'll be patient. Guys, ever take a crap so big your next thought is, I should weigh myself? I got cheers on that one. I love it. All right, I'll get on this last one. My baby sister, Tony, was born 4 months premature. And she was born with half a heart and 1 lung. And she had to live in an incubator for the first year of her life. And they said she wouldn't live past the age of 5. But she's 37 now, and she's a mom and a lawyer. So every year at her birthday, I call her up and I say, you're supposed to be dead. Guys, I'm Angie McMahon. You've been fantastic.